Can we just be clear? And because this is very important, and I think I must insist that you refer us to the record. In your exchange with when I say record, I mean the papers. In your exchange with Commissioner Khumalo, you say Mr. Mogotsi says, if I do this, I may come out of the commission unscathed. That's a promise. Can you point us in the papers where Mr. Chaskalson says that? Because that's quite a serious allegation that is being made. And if it is not in the papers that you have put before us in your application, I'm going to ask that you withdraw that allegation because it's quite a damaging allegation. Where do we find in the exchanges between them where Mr. Chaskalson says to Mr. Mogotsi, if you give me information about Mr. Karim, I will make sure, I promise you, that I'll help you to come out of the commission unscathed. Where do we find that?
I think the best you can do is 6.5 on page 13. Also 6.16 on page 16, but it says the same thing as 6.5.
I was looking at 619.
Yes.
I see the 6.5 that Commissioner is referring
So it's
to.
6.5 where he says, I was left with a distinct impression that my protection from adverse findings by the Commission was being made conditional upon my willingness to provide information and documentation.
So my question is, point us to the exchanges between Mr. Chaskalson and Mr. Mogotsi, where that promise is recorded. I don't want to be referred to Mr. Mogotsi's impressions. And I want you to say, if it's not in the exchanges, if it's not recorded in the exchanges, I would like you to at least admit that for the record, that nothing in the exchanges between them that are placed before us by Mr. Mogotsi records that.
Commissioner, I'll respond by saying that with the WhatsApp messages and the phone calls that have been put as annexures, there's nothing in that communication that brings that sort of message across. Now, it's information that comes from Mr. Mogotsi, and it is then where he says in the affidavit that I can get out of the commission, I can be protected, and in a nutshell, I'll submit that it's some form of immunity. That's how he understands it. But further thereto, there's nothing in the communication that has been put forth that depicts that.
So just to be clear, you accept that there is no evidence before us, and Mr. Mogotsi doesn't say, Mr. Chaskalson promised me that if I give him information on Mr. Karim, he will ensure that I come out of the commission unscathed. Nowhere in the WhatsApp messages, Mr. Mogotsi doesn't say in any of our calls that was said, and he doesn't allege that in the affidavit. He simply says, I got the impression. I got the impression. That's what you're saying. So yes, where you earlier said a promise was made to him, that was not correct to say.
That is not the. I'll retract that and I'll say an impression, according to the affidavit of Mr. Mogotsi, an impression was created.
Yes. My difficulty with you when I started engaging, why I engaged you on this, is you said a promise was made to him.
I'll retract the use of the word promise, Commissioner.
No, you're not retracting the use of the word promise. You are retracting a statement that says Mr. Chaskalson made a promise to Mr. Mogotsi because we don't have evidence of that promise. That is what I'm saying should be retracted. you can still say, Mr. Mogotsi says he gained the impression from their communication that that is what was being offered to him. I don't quarrel with it being an impression that he formed. The question is whether that was a reasonable impression based on the facts that are before us. The one that I needed clarity on is where you make the positive statement that he was made a promise that he would be protected from adverse findings if he gives dead or incriminating evidence on Mr. Karim. That's all I wanted you to.
Commissioner, I'll retract the statement that I made earlier on.
Thank you. I think that's a fair resolution to my concern.
Just one very brief matter. There appears to be a suggestion of something negative about the statement relating to throwing under the bus. Did I understand that correctly? If I did, can you again just articulate that?
Is the chair asking
The
my
issue
personal
about-
understanding of throw under the bus?
No. What exactly are the allegations and what is the point being made in that regard? My sense may have been wrong. My sense was that there is a suggestion that there's something negative or sinister around that issue, the issue of throwing under the bus.
Chair, it would be defend yourself at whatever cost, if I may put it in a nutshell. Chair, it says, paragraph 6.3 says that it will be on page 12 of the bundle, Chair.
Yes.
And I'll leave the first 3 lines because I believe that we had gone to this paragraph on numerous occasions, and I'll go straight to the point. Mr. Mogotsi says that the evidence leader says that get me anything against Suleiman and I will help you. He further stated that Suleiman had implicated me and that I should find a way to defend myself. He expressed his belief that Suleiman was lying, that Suleiman had thrown me under the bus, and that he wanted me to do the same